We are back at Dunsinane Castle, and we are with a physician and a waiting gentlewoman, which is just like a personal assistant for Lady Macbeth.
I have 2 nights watched with you, but can perceive no truth in your report. When was it she last walked?
Since His Majesty went into the field, I have seen her rise from her bed, throw her nightgown upon her, unlock her closet, take forth paper, fold it, write upon it, read it, afterwards seal it, and again return to bed. Yet all this while in a most fast sleep.
A great perturbation in nature to receive at once the benefit of sleep and do the effects of watching. In this slumbery agitation, besides her walking and other actual performances, what at any time have you heard her say?
That, sir, which I will not report after her.
You may to me, and 'tis most meet you should.
Neither to you nor anyone, having no witness to confirm my speech. Lo you, here she comes. This is her very guise, and upon my life, fast asleep. Observe her, stand close.
How came she by that light?
Why, it stood by her. She has light by her continually, 'tis her command.
You see her eyes are open.
Aye, but their sense are shut.
What is it she does now? Look how she rubs her hands.
It is an accustomed action with her to seem thus washing her hands. I have known her continue in this 1/4 of an hour.
Yet here's a spot.
Hark, she speaks. I will set down what comes from her, to satisfy my remembrance the more strongly.
Out, damn spot! Out, I say! 1, 2. Why then, 'tis time to do it. Hell is murky. Fie, my lord, fie, a soldier and afeard? What need we fear who knows it when none can call our power to account? Yet who would have thought the old man to have had so much blood in him?
Do you mark that?
The Thane of Fife had a wife. Where is she now?
What? Will these hands ne'er be clean? No more of that, my lord, no more of that. You mar all with this starting.
Go to, go to. You have known what you should not.
She has spoke what she should not, I am sure of that. Heaven knows what she has known.
Here's the smell of the blood still. All the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand. Oh, oh.
What a sigh is there? The heart is sorely charged.
I would not have such a heart in my bosom for the dignity of the whole body.
Well, well, well.
Pray God it be, sir.
This disease is beyond my practice. Yet I have known those which have walked in their sleep who have died holily in their beds.
Wash your hands. Put on your nightgown. Look not so pale. I tell you yet again, Banquo's buried. He cannot come out on's grave.
Even so.
To bed, to bed. There's knocking at the gate. Come, 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 come. Give me your hand. What's done cannot be undone. To bed, to bed, to bed.
Will she go now to bed?
Directly.
Foul whisperings are abroad. Unnatural deeds do breed unnatural troubles. Infected minds to their deaf pillows will discharge their secrets. More need she the divine than the physician, God. God forgive us all. Look after her. Remove from her the means of all annoyance, and still keep eyes upon her. So, good night. My mind she has mated and amazed my sight. I think, but dare not speak.
Good night, good doctor.
Okay, crew. Quite a remarkable thing to witness, I would imagine, as a doctor and a gentlewoman. This quote here jumps out at me as being quite useful to us. A theme that develops through the play is this idea of subverting nature, so going against natural things as they should be. So I'm going to just make that note there. Subversion of nature. This has been running the whole way through the play, is that things are not as they should be. The witches call it hurly-burly in the opening scene. When shall we meet again when the hurly-burly's done? It's uneven, it's not normal. Unnatural deeds do breed unnatural troubles. All of this has stemmed from regicide. It is so wrong that it's filtered through and made all things unnatural, unsteady. They've watched her just then talking to herself. Quite an eerie scene and a very famous scene. In fact, one of the most famous lines from this scene is "out damn spot." If you're in the exam and you remember the phrase "out damn spot," you can pull so much just from that one quote, "out damn spot." What might she be doing when she's calling out damn spot? There is an action she's doing in this scene. Where from? So there's no blood literally there, is there? But she's saying "out damn spot." She's got blood where? I guess on her hands. Is she imagining it on the floor too? I don't know. But we do definitely know that she's washing her hands and there's nothing there. Ugh. We've got... The doctor is really of the opinion, whoa, this is beyond me. This disease is beyond my practice, he says here. And further down here, guys, he says, more needs she the divine than a physician. Like, chick, you need God, not a doctor. This I thought was really interesting. She's almost playing two roles in this sleepwalking state. No more of that, Lord. No more of that, my Lord. Who is she talking to? There's like two sides of her. Yellow there is out damn spot, out damn spot. 1, 2. Why then 'tis time to do it. What might she be counting when she says 1, 2? Do you reckon it's to kill the king? If you're holding that. 1, 2, boom. She didn't do it though, did she? She put the knives back. Guys, she has, the gentlewoman says she's always got light by her now, continually. So you're walking around a big dark castle. Why might Lady Macbeth always want a candle with her now?
She's scared of the dark now.
Why do you reckon she's scared of the dark now? That's a great answer.
Because that's when everyone gets killed.
Great. She's now scared of the dark because that's when all this bad stuff has occurred. She is absolutely spooked now. The gentlewoman has heard all of this, but the gentlewoman is like, I'm not going to repeat it. No chance. Because she's like, what I've been hearing from this woman, I'm not going to repeat it. Again, the doctor says a perturbation of nature, a subversion. Things are off. That's it from that scene. So clearly it's all catching up with Lady Macbeth.
The English power is near, led on by Malcolm, his uncle Seward, and the good Macduff. Revenge is burning them, for their dear causes would to the bleeding and grim alarm excite the mortified man. Near Burnham Wood shall we well meet them. That way are they coming.
Who knows if Donalbain be with his brother?
For certain, sir, he is not. I have a file of all the gentry. There is Seward's son, and many unrough youths that even now protest their first of manhood.
What does the tyrant?
Great Dunsinane he strongly fortifies. Some say he's mad, others that lesser hate him do call it valiant fury. But for certain, he cannot buckle his distempered cause within the belt of rule.
Now does he feel his secret murders sticking on his hands. Now minutely revolts upbraid his faith breach. Those he commands move only in command, nothing in love. Now does he feel his title hang loose about him, like a giant's robe upon a dwarfish thief.
Who then shall blame his pestered senses to recoil and start?
when all that is within him does condemn itself for being there.
Well, march we on, to give obedience where 'tis truly owed. Meet we the medicine of the sickly wheel, and with him pour we in our country's purge each drop of us.
Or so much as it needs to do the sovereign flower and drown the weeds. Make we our march towards Burnham!
Cool, people. Not a whole lot going on there, except some momentum is brewing for the revenge and to take back Scotland and to get rid of Macbeth. This is a great line here, though, about Macbeth's, he is the king, but no one bloody likes him. They're just doing their duty. He says here, those he commands only do it in command. There's no love. So no one's doing it out of, patriotism. They're doing it out of fear. He's the kind of king you're just like, yes, okay, because you don't want to die. They're not doing it for love. They're doing it only because they're scared. That's anyone who is left up with Macbeth. Some have left. Again, they call Macbeth a tyrant. And guess what? Anyone is going to fight. Even just, it's their first time. Their first of manhood. Anyone is fighting. They've got such a big army, they're just getting anyone on board. I think we'll stop there today, crew. So the momentum is building. Where are they marching to? Burnham. And why is that important? Can anyone remember anything about that from the cauldrons? Macbeth shall not be vanquished until Burnham Forest moves to Dunsinane. So this is the forest. It does connect to the apparition. Of course, that Macbeth said, look, that's unrealistic. Forests don't move, right? Forests don't move, we hope. Awesome, guys. You've done so well. Guys, the action is building. It's a really quick final act. The action cuts to... who's there? Who is it? It's Lennox and they don't say Macduff here, but they are organising. His uncle and the good Macduff, they've organised a mega army that's on its way to Scotland right now. They're ready to take him down. They're over him. And they say, let's go, guys. Let's meet at Burnham, at the woods.
Till Burnham Wood remove to Dunsinane, I cannot taint with fear. What's the boy, Malcolm? Was he not born of woman? The spirits that know all mortal consequences have pronounced me thus. Fear not, Macbeth. No man that's born of woman shall e'er have power upon thee. Then fly, false thanes, and mingle with the English epicures. The mind I sway by and the heart I bear shall never sag with doubt nor shake with fear. The devil damn thee black, thou cream-faced loon. Where got'st thou that goose look? There is 10,000 geese, villain. Soldiers, sir. Go prick thy face and overred thy fear, thou lily-livered boy. What soldiers, Patch? Death of thy soul, those linen cheeks of thine are counselors to fear. What soldiers, Wayface? The English force, so please you. Take thy face hence. Satan! I am sick at heart when I behold Satan, I say! This push will cheer me ever or deceit me now. I have lived long enough. My way of life is fallen into the sear, the yellow leaf. And that which should accompany old age as honor, love, obedience, troops of friends, I must not look to have, but in their stead curses, not loud but deep, mouth honor, breath which the poor heart would fain deny and dare not. Satan!
What's your gracious pleasure?
What news more?
All is confirmed, my lord, which was reported.
I'll fight till from my bones my flesh be hacked. Give me my armor.
'Tis not needed yet.
I'll put it on. Send out more horses. Skir the country round. Hang those that talk of fear. Give me mine armor. How does your patient, doctor?
Not so sick, my lord, as she is troubled with thick coming fancies that keep her from her rest.
Cure her of that. Canst thou not minister to a mind diseased? Pluck from the memory a rooted sorrow. Raise out the written troubles of the brain, and with some sweet, oblivious antidote cleanse the stuffed bosom of that perilous stuff which weighs upon the heart.
Therein the patient must minister to himself.
Throw physic to the dogs. I'll none of it. Come, put mine armor on. Give me my staff. Satan, send out. Doctor, the thanes fly from me. Come, sir, dispatch. If thou couldst, doctor, cast the water of my land, find her disease, and purge it to a sound and pristine health, I would applaud thee to the very echo that should applaud again. Just pull it off, I say! What rhubarb, senna, or what purgative drug would scour these English hence? Hear'st thou of them?
Aye, my good lord, your royal preparation makes us hear something.
Bring it after me. I will not be afraid of death and bane till Burnham Forest come to Dunsinane.
Were I from Dunsinane away and clear, profit again should hardly draw me here.
Okay. So let's just go back on that little scene there, crew. What has Macbeth been told in that scene? That the soldiers are coming? He's thinking here about the prophecies. I mean, yeah, you're right, Sasha, he's on edge, but he's trying to remain cool because he's like, the prophecies said I'm all good. Because the prophecies said, till Burnham Wood moves to Dunsinane, only then will he get fearful, and he knows that logically speaking a forest can't move, so we're all good. He says he's remembering the other prophecy, no man that's born of woman shall ever overpower him. He's like, cool. He's still holding on to those prophecies as his protection. Yes. Yes, totally. Jack, we were noticing last lesson, right, about the amount of bird imagery. Obviously, I guess a goose is often associated with someone who's a bit silly. In this case, the servant has come in looking like a freaked out goose. Because that servant has the crappy job of telling Macbeth, hey, they're coming. Macbeth goes off on him. Again, we have this idea of white cheeks for fear imagery. And then Macbeth has this quiet moment here, team, where he actually seems to be kind of okay with his destiny. He somewhat comes to terms with it here. I've lived long enough. You know, and he accepts that he's not going to get to old age. He's not going to have lots of friends. And he's accepted that in order to get what he wants. And there's some of that courage that we know of Macbeth from the opening acts. We know that he's a hardcore fighter. He's a brilliant soldier. And we see that come through again here. He says, right, put my armor on. I'm going to go down fighting. There's that sort of indication of how he runs the country. Hang those who talk of fear. Guys, pardon? Yeah, but I hope he's going to draw the line on hanging her. They haven't talked for a while. They've been quite separate in the palace. He says to the doctor, "Can't you please pluck from the memory of rooted sorrow? You wish." There's nothing the doctor can do for her flashbacks. And guys, anyone who's anyone has left Macbeth. They've left. They've jumped ship. The Thanes fly from me. They've left. He doesn't have many people in his crew. Awesome. Let's roll. Soldiers march.
Cousins, I hope the days are near at hand that Chambers will be safe.
We doubt it nothing. What wood is this before us? The wood of Burnham.
Let every soldier hew him down a bough and bear it before him. Thereby shall we shadow the numbers of our host and make discovery err in report of us.
It shall be done. We learn no other but the confident tyrant keeps still in Dunsinane and will endure our setting down before.
'Tis his main hope. For where there is advantage to be given, both more and less have given him the revolt, and none serve with him but constrained things, whose hearts are absent too.
Let our just censures attend the true event, and put we on industrious soldiership. Time approaches that will with due decision make us know what we shall say we have and what we owe. Thoughts speculative their unsure hopes relate, but certain issue strokes must arbitrate, towards which advance the war.
Really short scene there. Was anyone able to understand the military tactic they're about to use? Oh, God, I can't help but laugh because it's about to bite him on the butt so royally.
Are they hiding in the tree?
It's very close. They're actually going to cut down the branches and put it in front of them. And then they're going to surprise the host. So, yeah.
Is this what was meant by like the to Burnham? Because they're going from Burnham to
Yes, it is, mate. So the prophecy itself, Macbeth shall not be vanquished until Burnham Wood moves to Dunsinane. Well, guess what? That was an equivocation. It was a deliberate mistruth. It was an ambiguous statement because this wood is about to, I guess, move to Dunsinane. Quite literally from these soldiers cutting down branches, putting it in front of them, and walking to Dunsinane. So they're pretending they're a forest. And that's a way, it's actually a warfare tactic in medieval fighting to surprise your enemy. Well, that's one prophecy that's biting him on the butt. They're on their way. We are back now in the castle.
Hang out our banners on the outward walls. The cry is still, they come. Our castle's strength will laugh a siege to scorn. Here let them lie till famine and the ague eat them up. Were they not forced with those that should be ours, we might have met them there for beard to beard and beat them backward home. What is that noise?
It is the cry of women, my good lord.
I have almost forgot the taste of fears. The time has been my senses would have cooled to hear a night shriek, and my fell of hair would at a dismal treatise rouse and stir as life were in't. I have supped full with horrors. Direness, familiar to my slaughterous thoughts, cannot once start me. Wherefore was that cry?
The queen, my lord, is dead.
She should have died hereafter. There would have been a time for such a word. Tomorrow. And tomorrow. And tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day, to the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out, out, brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Thou comes to use thy tongue, thy story quickly.
Gracious, my lord, I should report that which I say I saw, but know not how to do it.
Well, say, sir.
As I did stand my watch upon the hill, I looked toward Burnham, and anon methought the wood began to move.
Liar and slave!
Let me endure your wrath if it be not so. Within this 3 mile may you see it coming, I say, a moving grove.
If thou speakst false, upon the next tree shalt thou hang alive till famine cling thee. If thy speech be sooth, I care not if thou dost for me as much. I pull in resolution and begin to doubt the equivocation of the fiend that lies like truth. Fear not till Burnham Wood do come to Dunsinane. And now a wood comes toward Dunsinane. Arm! Arm and out! If this which he avouches does appear, there is no flying hence nor tarrying here. I begin to be weary of the sun, and wish the estate of the world were now undone. Ring the alarm bell! Blow, wind! Come, rack! At least we'll die with harness on our back.
Oh boy. Let's just go to the top of that scene. Really short scene. What's the biggest piece of news we've just learned? Pardon? Lady Macbeth is dead. Do we know how she died from that scene? Is there any evidence in that scene? I am not sure there is, unless I've missed it there on this one. Notice that when the women are all screaming, Macbeth tells us here, he says, I've almost forgot the taste of fears. Yes.
Is that saying he's not, like he's had so much fear going on that he's just...
Can you say that louder, please?
Like he's experienced so much fear that he's going to become numb to it.
Brilliant answer, and that's spot on, yes. He has experienced so much fear, he's become numb to it. He says, there was a time when I would have freaked out hearing that screaming, but not now. Nothing really spooks me anymore. Don't forget that wherefore is really why. Why was that a cry? The queen is dead. He then goes into his reaction here. He's obviously disappointed. He refers to Lady Macbeth as a brief candle.
Yeah. It also says a poor player, but on the side it says player is like an actor.
Interesting. Let me go to that right now. Great point. Life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. So, what does that tell you about his thoughts on life? It's pointless. You mentioned, yeah, beautiful. It's fake. There's an element of... Say that again. Lovely. It's like we're actors. Yes.
Is he also saying, like, she shouldn't have died now, she should have died, like, later?
She should have died later. She should have died later, of course. He wasn't expecting it to end that quickly. There's this repetition of tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. You get this sense that Macbeth is just like, what even is this life?
What does it mean by the way to dusty death?
Let's check.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's things I do not know and have to triple check. Where are we looking here? The way to dusty death. Okay, let's go back. Because that sentence is long. It starts from here. Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day to the last syllable of recorded time. I get this, and you cannot push against the inevitable. So and then we say, and all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. We're a bunch of idiots, I guess, Laura. Just all of us are cruising towards that. So yeah, and actually I'm going to add here, guys, it's pretty hopeless. But guess what? You're the ultimate fighter when you don't give a crap about life anymore, aren't you? So he says, right, get my gear on. I don't even have Lady Macbeth now. So let's go. And the messenger, bless them, tells him, I looked towards Burnham and I thought that the woods began to move. Don't forget they're in a castle, right? So they're looking out to the distance. And he says, liar and slave. If literally, don't mess with me. I will hang you if you're lying. And he says, where is it there? Yeah. He says, a moving grove. What's a grove? Yeah, I think it is. Let me just get that synonyms. Yeah, it's woods, orchid. I saw a moving grove. Okie dokie, and only now, guys, this is the first moment that Macbeth says, oh my God, those prophecies might have been messing with me. He says, I begin to doubt the equivocation of the fiend that lies like truth. Who's the fiend? And what does fiend mean? Is fiend devil, evil?
It says the fiend in here means the third operation.
Does it?
Yeah, it says fiend, i.e. the third operation.
Oh, the third. Yeah, of course. The witches, of course. Third apparition, yeah. So only now in this time of panic does he start to doubt what he was told. Let's roll. So we're out the front of the castle here.
Now near enough. Your leafy screens throw down and show like those you are. You, worthy uncle, shall with my cousin, your right noble son, lead our first battle. Worthy Macduff and we shall take upon what else remains to do, according to our order.
Fare you well. Do we but find the tyrant's power tonight, let us be beaten if we cannot fight.
Make all our trumpets speak. Give them all breath, those clamorous harbingers of blood and death.
It's on, guys, it's on.
They have tied me to a stake. I cannot fly, but bear-like I must fight the course. What's he that was not born of woman? Such a one am I to fear, or none. What is thy name?
Thou'lt be afraid to hear it.
No, though thou call'st thyself a harder name than any is in hell.
My name's Macbeth.
The devil himself could not pronounce a title more hateful to mine ear.
No, nor more fearful.
Thou liest, abhorred tyrant. With my sword, I'll prove the lie thou speakst. Prove that.
Thou wast born of woman. But swords I smile at,
weapons laughed to scorn, brandished by man that's of a woman born.
That way the noise is. Tyrant, show thy face! If thou be'st slain, and with no stroke of mine, my wife and children's ghosts will haunt me still. I cannot strike at wretched kerns whose arms are hired to bear their staves. Either thou, Macbeth, or else my sword with an unbattered edge I sheathe again undeeded. There thou shouldst be. By this great clatter, one of greatest note seems bruited. Let me find him fortune, and more I beg not.
Swear, my lord! The castle's gently rendered. The tyrant's people on both sides do fight. The noble thanes do bravely in the war. The day almost itself professes yours, and little is to do.
We have met with foes that strike beside us.
Enter, sir, the castle.
Why should I play the Roman fool and die on mine own sword? Whilst I see lives, the gashes do better upon them.
Turn, hellhound, turn.
Of all men else I have avoided thee. But get thee back, charged with blood of thine already.
I have no words. My voice is in my sword. Thou bloodier villain than terms can give thee out.
Thou losest labor. As easy mayest thou the entrenchant air with thy keen sword impress as make me bleed. Let fall thy blade on vulnerable crests. I bear a charmed life, which must not yield to one of woman born.
Spare thy charm, and let the angel whom thou still hast served tell thee Macduff was from his mother's womb untimely ripped.
Accursed be that tongue that tells me so, for it hath cowed my better part of man. And be these juggling fiends no more believe that palter with us in a double sense, that keep the word of promise to our ear and break it to our hope. I'll not fight with thee.
Then yield thee, coward, and live to be the show and gaze of the time. We'll have thee, as our rarer monsters are, painted upon a pole, and under it, here may you see the tyrant.
I will not yield to kiss the ground before young Malcolm's feet, and to be baited with the rabble's curse. Though Burnham would be come to Dunsinane, and thou opposed, being of no woman born, yet I will try the last. Before my body I throw my warlike shield. Lay on, Macduff, and damned be him that first cries, "Hold! Enough!"
I would the friends we miss were safe arrived. Some must go off, and yet by these I see so great a day as this is cheaply bought.
Macduff is missing, and your noble son.
Your son, my lord, has paid a soldier's debt. He only lived but till he was a man, the which no sooner had his prowess confirmed in the unshrinking station where he fought, but like a man he died. Then he is dead, aye, and brought off the field. Your cause of sorrow must not be measured by his worth, for then it hath no end. Had he his hurts before? Aye, on the front. Why then, God's soldier be he. Had I as many sons as I have heirs, I would not wish them to a fairer death. And so his knell is known.
He's worth more sorrow, and that I spent for him.
He's worth no more. They say he parted well and paid his score, and so God be with him. Here comes newer comfort.
Hail, King, for so thou art. Behold where stands the usurper's cursed head. The time is free. I see thee compassed with thy kingdom's pearl, that speak my salutation in their minds, whose voices I desire aloud with mine. Hail! King of Scotland.
We shall not spend a large expense of time before we reckon with your several loves and make us even with you. My thanes and kinsmen, henceforth be earls, the first that ever Scotland in such an honour named. What's more to do, which would be planted newly with the time, as calling home our exiled friends abroad that fled the snares of watchful tyranny, producing forth the cruel ministers of this dead butcher and his fiend-like queen, who, as 'tis thought by self and violent hands, took off her life. This, and what needful else that calls upon us, by the grace of grace, we will perform in measure, time, and place. So thanks to all at once, and to each one whom we invite to see us crowned at Scone.
Congratulations, you 12s. Congratulations. Guys, let's just zoom up here. A lot of action there. That's why we just let it play quite quick. You know what? Macbeth here, he says, I'm not going to play the Roman fool and die on mine own sword. He's not going to take his own life. I think, obviously, the option would be there. He goes into battle with this ridiculous sense of safety with this line, I bear a charmed life. So he's really walking in with his sword, just like, awesome, no one can hurt me. So he says, no one can hurt me who's born of woman. So what did we find out then about Macduff?
Did his mum just like not actually birth him? Did she like?
What do we call that in medicine? Yeah, like in modern terms, you might call it a C-section, where the baby is removed from the womb. I don't know what the technology would have been like for science back then. I'm sure it would have been hugely risky. I wonder if the mother lost her life in that. Highly likely. So he was not born in the traditional way. So, Macbeth, that's a bit of a bombshell to get on the battlefield. And he freaks out straight away. Accursed be that tongue that tells me so. And again, moments ago he said, I begin to doubt the equivocations of the fiend. And here he says, be these juggling fiends no more believed. Lol, it's a bit late. Only now does he not believe them. There's that phrase double again. We had double trust earlier. False face. Macduff says we're going to paint you on a pole. Quite violent. And guys, we did find out, I guess Seward lost his son. But there's this really obvious moral there for the audience. It's like, it's actually all good to lose your son in battle. So he doesn't even really cry or grieve. He's just like, oh, my son's a hero, so that's good. We have, if you missed it, Macbeth is beheaded. You good? Yep, totally. Guys, Macbeth is beheaded. So you got Macduff standing, holding, should do that, the head. We should draw this better later. Yay! Cool. He has beheaded Macbeth, so who becomes king then straight away? Malcolm, the guy who should have been ages ago. Malcolm does a cute speech. People, there you have your evidence of what did happen to Lady Macbeth. How do you know from that? 'Tis thought by self and violent hands took her life. So we don't know how she did it, but we do know that she ended her life. Perhaps it was with the dagger. I think there's some theories that she leapt from the castle.
Well, who was screaming then?
I believe the screaming was the gentlewoman finding her. Yeah. And our final description here, he is going to be remembered as a dead butcher and his fiend-like queen. It could be argued that she is a little bit witch-like. Yeah. I'm sure that the audiences then would have been a bit suspicious of her. What with not having a baby, with being so violent, being open to spirits. Yeah, when she says, "Come, you spirits, unsex me here. Take my milk for gold." She's willing, so she's willing to subvert natural, womanly, motherly things. Turn my milk to poison. She said, yeah, gall is poison. She says, "Fill me from the crown to the toe, topped with the direst of cruelty." Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of witch vibes. Congratulations, crew. You are done. I'm going to pause that video there.
How was that last word "scone"?
You want to say scone, don't you?
Yeah, and it would have rhymed as well.
I know, that really bugged me too. One and scoon, it didn't even rhyme. I was really bummed as well. And just like that, Scotland's going to be okay. Well done, crew.